Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress, and this is Pixie Dust Tarot, and I have your daily dust for Tuesday, April 18th, if you're watching in real time. It's also for whenever you stumble upon it, so it can be a timeless reading as well. And I like to use a different deck every day, and sometimes I repeat certain decks. I haven't done the Way of the Panda Tarot in a little while, and it's one of my favorites. So let's use this one. Comes in this nice box. It is very adorable. Adorable. Pamela Chen. Pamela. I thought it was Pamela Chen. It's by Kimberly Eisen and illustrated by Celia Lebel. Oh, Pamela Chen does the crystal unicorn. Okay. And so then we have this really nice green edge and it comes like that. I'm going to give it a good shuffle, and then we'll get 3 cards and just have a nice collective message for a day. Sometimes it can trickle into another day or before, or a mix of things. But as always, take what resonates. It may not be for you, but you might find yourself in this. A lot of people follow me every single day and watch day to day, and that's beautiful and I love it. But sometimes it is kind of nice to just follow your intuition, and choose the video that's calling you, whenever you stumble upon it. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, we have Temperance. Very nice. Very peaceful and sweet. And we have 2 together, so we'll take them both. We have the Fool and the 2 of Swords. Alright, let's zoom on in and see what we get. It seems like we've been daily getting a this or this way or this way kind of reading. It's in order to get the peace, or in order to get the abundance. So Temperance is definitely a lovely card. This little panda, I'm going to read to you from the book because the pandas talk, and Temperance has something to say to you. The Temperance panda. And it's very sweet. She's got the water around her, very balanced. The panda is saying, there's no place, no people, no me. There's only this moment, and I am in it. I don't think about it much, and neither should you. When we do, it stops being a moment. Come sit by me. The water's calming and rejuvenating. Sorry, did you say something? What do you mean? I'm kind of fat. That's it. Get out of my panda moment now. It's funny because I was just watching. Okay, so what I was kind of reading it. You know how when you look at your videos, your suggested playlist or whatever, the videos that pop up, and you're scrolling through deciding which one you're going to actually watch, and sometimes I just sit there and watch just in the screen where you see this subtitles. And I was watching an Eckhart Tolle video that I had seen before, I'm pretty sure, because the lady was asking about what about reaction, like reacting in a moment. How do we handle ourselves? How do we control it? How do we temper ourselves when we react in a moment? She was talking about how she has 3 boys or something like that she didn't even have I don't think she had a husband or a man in her life, and 3 boys was enough. But I mean, maybe having a partner would be some additional help in the situation, but maybe not, and she seemed like the kind of person that tried to be in the moment and tried not to let the moment get to her. And then my son was listening to something that was really interesting, and a kind of almost a similar topic. It's about observing. Like, there is the ego, and then there's the higher self that's observing the ego. Sometimes when you have a moment and you're like, I shouldn't have done that. It's usually, see, and the lady that was talking to Eckhart Tolle, she said that she felt a sense of guilt come out. Well, that's also ego, but it's our higher self actually observing something, and then our lower self taking it as criticism or judgment. Where actually your higher self truly does not criticize or judge. Your higher self is just pure conscience. Consciousness and conscience is just watching, it's just observing, it's taking in the moment. And in that respect, there's a sense of peace that, we're human and we act and overreact sometimes. But if you kind of rise above and step out of the moment, you kind of see, and sometimes everything slows down, it gets kind of matrixy, and you're just thinking, why am I doing this? Why do I need to act like this? What's the point? What are we talking about? Why are we here? What is the basis of this? And why am I overreacting? What was the trigger? What got me to get all riled up about defending so obviously her trigger was the person calling her fat, right? But if she just kind of zoomed down, she's like, well, that's the way you see me. And maybe it's the way some people see me, but I see myself as beautiful and amazing, and it doesn't matter. It's like there's more to it. There's more to the story than just this person's point of view, whatever. And you don't have to defend yourself, you can just kind of smile and nod your head. You're like, yeah, that's the way you want to see it. I'm not going to interfere with your point of view, but your point of view doesn't affect my point of view, you see? So that's tricky. It's tricky to get there. If you can't get there, it's okay. It happens. So the Fool is talking about staying curious in the moment. So it's saying to let your nose guide you towards the next best adventure. You may not know what you're leaving behind. You may not know what you will find, but it's going to be good. Destiny's calling on the other side of the world, calling for you to arrive. So it's about exploring. You can explore physically and travel far distances, change your perspective and your point of view, especially when you see so many different cultures and the way people interact with each other in different parts of the world. It just kind of gives you this really cool feeling of, so much of what we are maybe is from the way we were raised in our culture and the way we were brought up, or the way we view other people, or the way we just assume the world works and all of this stuff. None of it has to be anything etched in stone for you, for your life. You can do whatever you want. It's like the world's your oyster, or it's like having a learner's permit. It's like exploring whatever, but it doesn't even have to be just the outside world. It can be in the inner world too, your inner self, your inner, the things that the outer stimulus is how it affects the inner self, so that could be some exploring that you do. If you explore so much in your inner world that you're going back and forth in your head, all these ideas and choices and thoughts, then you can get sort of monkey mind. It can get to you a little bit too much. So you have to find a nice way to observe yourself without judgment and criticism, right? And then if you're faced with a choice, then you and you don't know how to behave or do or what next in this situation, you just got to move on, just continue on with your moment or the day. But it's so funny because in the book the panda is saying, I think, therefore I am, which is actually, that might be Eckhart Tolle's trigger right there. When somebody tells him that, because he's like, well, our society is sort of based on that statement. I think, therefore I am, but that's not it, because the thinking is not who you are. The thinking is the ego, is the person reacting and acting and moving around the world in scenarios and situations, but the one who really is you is that conscious, that higher self. So anyway, this little guy's name is Panda Ascartes, Panda Ascartes, and I will tell you exactly what I think. I find myself perfectly adorable, and I know it to be true because it is the truth. Always know the truth of things, especially the truth of yourself. That way, you can't be bothered by idiots. So there you go. That's the answer to that. And who knew that the person who called her name was really the way to react to it, is saying, whatever, I know the truth and I'm not going to be bothered by what you just said because I know the truth. See? That's all you got to do. So it's definitely about perspectives and opinions and identity, and all of those can come into play when you're faced with a moment. And this is a nice little exercise that you can use anytime. It's this is a message maybe for today, but it's for any time, because it will help you in those moments where you get, and I don't like to use the word triggered all the time because it's one of those catchwords these days, but when things rub you the wrong way, that's what I like to say more. Somebody rubs you the wrong way, somebody says something you don't like, or somebody hurts your feelings. Remember, they're your feelings to be hurt by your perception. What the person said was their choice of words, and it may not have been an intended choice of words to bring about hurt feelings, right? These choices of words that a person said may have just said it because that's just the way they say things. But it's up to you whether you get hurt by it or not. So that really is the choice. And I know that's hard because I kind of bristled against that idea initially. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much it's true. It's my choice whether I'm going to get mad or upset if somebody says something like that to me. And sometimes it's like a little wave, and you don't catch it right away, and you might say or do something that you didn't want to do, but you can always stop the wave. You can always correct it somehow. You can always center yourself in the moment again, and come from a more higher perspective than the ego perspective. And this may not be you, you may be mastering that ego very well, but then you'll find that one person that knows how to shake up all that good work that you did. That happens to me a lot. So anyway, we're our own experiment every day. We keep trying and trying. None of us are perfect. We're not always going to get along every single moment of the day. So we just have to, keep working with what we got. And I think you're doing great. And I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.